Hello everyone, my name is Asia and I make K-pop animation videos and sometimes dabble into K-pop commentary. This is the type of video I did not think I was gonna make on this channel ever, but here we are. Honestly, I didn't want to make this video. I thought I could just write a community tab post about the news and then move on, or at least try to. But I couldn't, my brain wouldn't stop. I kept going back and forth on how I felt about everything. After some time, I decided to make this video when my thoughts became stable so I wouldn't ramble too much. That's still most likely gonna happen, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I'll try my best to cover just about everything that's happened and what I've seen and heard so far. But if I missed anything, please let me know. Without further ado, let's get started. On March 10th, Belift Lab dropped the most shocking news this year of 2026. Heeseung leaves the group ENHYPEN to pursue solo activities. Heeseung also posted a handwritten letter announcing that he made this decision and was apologizing for the news being so sudden. We all read the statements, so they won't be read out here. I'm already too lazy to add my own damn character onto this video. I'll talk about everyone's reaction to the news later because I have a lot to say about that, but for now I'll talk about my own reaction. Surprisingly, I didn't cry. I was emotional and confused, yes, but I didn't shed any tears. I was probably too in shock or too in denial to even process what I read when I was randomly scrolling on Twitter that night. I didn't know how to react, so I just went on like everything was normal. As days passed and I was finally processing everything, it was hard to breathe and I felt a little dizzy at times, but still no tears. I went back and forth so many times. First I tried to accept that he left on his own accord. Then I started believing that maybe he was kicked out, then back to leaving on his own, then kicked out again. Back and forth, back and forth. I didn't know what to think. I felt like I was losing my mind a little bit because we have no answers as to what happened. Everything dropped out of nowhere with no warning and explanations became too vague to give us any satisfying answers, so everybody including me spiraled a bit. After 4 or 5 days is when I finally started to fully accept the news, although it's still hard to fully stomach. Other Engenes, however, went into full mental breakdown mode. And some reactions to this news is deeply concerning to me, as well as disrespectful to both Heeseung and the ENHYPEN members, but we'll get there in a minute. Engenes, ENHYPEN's fandom are insanely divided right now because of how everything played out. One side genuinely thinks that Heeseung was kicked out due to how sudden it was, smack dab in the middle of still promoting their The VANISH album they just released. And their N o'clock episodes were in the middle of releasing when the news dropped, but now those episodes have been put on hold or postponed for now. Choreography and formations had to be changed quickly, and Heeseung's flights with the group were also cancelled. On the other side, they strongly believe that Heeseung chose to leave the group entirely to fully pursue a solo career so that he can have enough time to do so. I've seen many people say that ENHYPEN are crazy overworked, so it makes sense that he decided to leave to not put even more work onto his already overloaded schedule. I've even seen people say that maybe Heeseung didn't get along with the members anymore and wanted out. Or maybe he didn't like the direction of where ENHYPEN's music was going, so he decided to dip. Both sides have been aggressively clashing over this because again we don't have any information as to what the fuck happened. So then in a bizarre twist, Engenes decided to take matters into their own hands. They started sending protest trucks to the HYBE building demanding for Heeseung to be put back into the group. As well as held a protest in front of the HYBE building and even created a petition that ended up getting hundreds of thousands of signatures online. You would think that would be it, but no. We know at this point that K-pop stans don't know how to be normal about their favorite idols at all. There were other Engenes that allegedly even harassed staff members within HYBE headquarters. And they also apparently leaked the CEO's number and started harassing them too. The worst thing I saw on Instagram stories from Engene accounts I follow was that, apparently allegedly, Heeseung tried to set the HYBE building on fire in protest to the news of Heeseung. And Engenes were literally encouraging and praising them for doing this. I was actually in shock and appalled when I saw that. I really wish I screenshotted it. But I was so appalled and disgusted that I ended up reporting the person's story. To be clear, I didn't see any photos or videos of this supposed incident. So it could easily be not even true, but the point is that Engenes literally encouraged Heeseung to burn down an entire building filled with people in it, all because Heeseung left ENHYPEN. And y'all still wonder why people call K-pop fans overreactive and psychotic. They even apparently tried to get the Korean National Assembly involved. And went into other fandom spaces to spread around the petition. It was genuinely complete hell after the news dropped, truly. And to be frank, Engenes made both themselves and ENHYPEN look absolutely awful. They already looked bad before and I didn't think it would get worse, but unfortunately it did and they cranked it up to 100. Regardless of if you think Heeseung was forced out of the group, or if you think he left by his own decision, nobody should be fucking doxing the CEO's number to harass them. Or harass the Belift Hype staff members, or especially encourage Sasaengs to burn down a company building or any building for that matter. That is obviously psychotic and sick. And I know some people hearing me say this is gonna immediately dismiss everything I say and call me a company stan, which is truly insane, but not even surprising at this point. I have to ask real quick, what is trying to contact the Korean National Assembly supposed to do? A group of old-ass Korean men don't give a damn that a grown man left a K-pop group. Especially if it was said multiple times that he himself decided to leave. Plus that's the same assembly that listened to and accepted Nugent's Hanny's fake-ass crocodile tears about her imaginary made-up mistreatment at Hype. Y'all want that same assembly to try and somehow bring back Heeseung? And what is harassing staff members and the CEO supposed to do? Scare them into bringing him back into the group? I'm genuinely asking what is the goal in doing all of this? And why the fuck are y'all encouraging Sasaengs to burn down an entire building? No, I'm not moving past this because y'all look truly psychotic doing that shit. So y'all wanted all the staff members and employees, the CEO and all the other idols working in the Hype building to literally die in Minecraft because you're mad that Heeseung is out of the group? It's honestly so deserved that K-pop fans have a horrible reputation and it will never be fixed or recovered. I have a whole theory about how specifically international K-pop stans secretly encourage Sasaeng behavior despite being loud and performative, about them being invasive and disgusting. Because it helps ease their extreme curiosity about their favorite idol's super private lives. But obviously this isn't the right video to talk about that. You have already read the title of this video. So let's move on to why I think Engenes are not respecting Heeseung's decision to leave ENHYPEN despite so many Engenes claiming that they do respect it in him, when they truly don't. Some days ago when I was trying to find a way to structure this video properly to make sure I talk about and mention everything I wanted to without leaving stuff out, I wrote this down in my notes app about why I personally think Engenes are reacting so negatively about Heeseung leaving ENHYPEN. To the point where they've been trying to do everything they can to get him back into the group. I didn't want to rewrite everything, so I copied and pasted it into this script. Here's what I wrote. Most Engenes don't respect Heeseung's decision to leave because it breaks the character that they gave him in their own heads. The character that Heeseung loves the other members so much that he would never want to separate from them. Engenes genuinely believe that they know Heeseung on somewhat of a personal level and they think they know how he feels, but in reality they really don't know him. And this situation is a complete threat to that vision image they already had of him. They're doing this under the disguised delusion that they do care about his decisions. But in reality, if it's ever revealed with solid proof and straight from Heeseung's mouth that he wanted to go fully solo without being in the group, these same people demanding him to go back to the group will instantly turn on him due to the sense of betrayal they already kind of felt but buried it in denial. Them wanting Heeseung back into the group is purely a selfish move from the fans. Again, it threatens the image of Heeseung they had in their heads. So they're desperate to get that image vision sense of control back. Due to all of the circumstances of how everything played out, the sudden announcement out of the blue, the postponement and changes of multiple schedules, merch, and a clock, etc., the vagueness in both Belift's and Heeseung's PR-heavy statements. And again, like I mentioned before, on top of the image or character type Engenes already have of Heeseung in their own heads. That he's someone who wouldn't dare leave the group for any reason out of the strong sheer love of his members.
If he wanted to go solo, he would do it while still in the group. He would never. My favorite group idol would never.
The infamous saying K-pop fans always say when they assume or straight up lie about their favorite groups being non-problematic. Perfectly moral people who have never done anything wrong, never made any mistakes ever. Some Engenes do not want to believe that it's possible that Heeseung wanted to be completely out of the group to do solo work, possibly not because he would have been overworked even more or whatever. It's possible that he didn't like the music direction that ENHYPEN was going, so he decided to fully dip out of there. I'm not saying this is true, I'm saying it's possible. And there's another thing I've been pondering about for some good years now, way before all of this, but I think it fits here. People are terrified of being seen as selfish in any way, shape, or form. That's why people who decide on their own to live their life completely childless get so much hate and backlash from people who encourage others to have kids. They see it as a selfish thing to do. And selfishness equals lack of empathy, sympathy, and even potential narcissism to a lot of people. What I'm saying is that Engenes don't want to believe that Heeseung possibly made a selfish decision for himself, without thinking about how the other members may feel in the group's future. None of us know Heeseung personally, so that very well could have happened. Or it very well didn't happen at all, we don't know anything. So I get why people feel like they can't do anything else but assume and speculate, but that doesn't mean we can go around saying that
Heeseung would never leave his members behind like that.
Because there's a good possibility that he would. To address some other smaller things before getting to the end of this video. No, I don't think this news is trying to cover up Hitman Bang's alleged fraud scandal going on. That shit has already been going on for multiple months now. Why would HYPE suddenly now use a big cover-up to try and hide the scandal? Everybody and their mom already knows about the scandal, so the fact that Engenes believe this makes no sense. I ain't saying that HYPE wouldn't pull some shit to try and cover something up, all big K-pop companies do this, but I just don't think this is a case where they decided to do that. And there's absolutely no photo or video evidence of Heeseung crying in the HYPE hallway or walking around looking sad and depressed before the news dropped. I don't know why Engenes are deciding to believe random ex-HYPE employees spewing random information with no goddamn proof. Actually, I do know why. It fits the kicked-out narrative perfectly. Proof is never needed when something fits a narrative to spread. And one more little thing. I think straight up calling Heeseung's handwritten letter AI slop is actually so disrespectful to him. The man wrote a whole letter announcing his departure from ENHYPEN and even apologized for being greedy for wanting to pursue his own ambitions in music. And y'all turn it around to call it fake and AI? Again, y'all just did that because it fits your "he was kicked out" narrative. And y'all couldn't fathom that he would leave the group on his own accord. AI detecting websites aren't reliable at all and y'all know that, but all of a sudden they're trustworthy? How very convenient of you. I also wrote this in my notes app and again I'm not rewriting it, so here's the copy-paste. Lastly, my own thoughts about Heeseung leaving. I think it was completely his choice to leave. He wasn't kicked out at all. It's just the timing and circumstances of the announcement is completely fucked up, and it's the main reason why fans are protesting so hard right now. I wish Belift was more clear on why he left, or waited until much later to announce something like this. But something must have happened for them to make a sudden decision to announce it out of the blue smack dab in the middle of promotions. Maybe the vagueness of why he left is to protect him from the hate he could get if it was revealed that he left on his own accord, but I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Heeseung leaving ENHYPEN. Again, I was not expecting to make a video like this ever. But of course, as a big obvious Engene, the news shook my ass to the core. I have to be so honest, chief. As of right now when I'm making and releasing this video, I already decided to take a break from supporting ENHYPEN due to everything. To be clear, I'm not fully unstanding them. I just emotionally cannot listen to their music or watch their content right now. You can call that dramatic or super parasocial or whatever, I don't care. I'm fucking devastated and I'm trying to protect myself. However, I am still working on video projects that are about ENHYPEN and I will still be releasing those videos as soon as they're finished. But if after that I'm still not able to watch or listen to their content, future videos on them are gonna have to be paused from then on. I have to do this to prevent myself from unstanding the group altogether, because I have truly thought about it a few times. I never cried when I saw the announcement of Heeseung leaving the group. But I did almost cry when I realized that, if I ever finally had the opportunity to see ENHYPEN live, because I've never seen them live in concert, I would never see them live on stage as 7 members like so many other Engenes did. Stuff like that does make you wanna just quit. But I am here and fully ready to support Heeseung's upcoming solo album. I've been wanting him to go solo for years. So I'm crazy excited to see what music he's gonna start putting out because I know it's gonna be good. Of course, I was hoping and expecting him to go solo while still in ENHYPEN. But obviously that ain't happening due to whatever the fuck happened. Regardless, both Heeseung and ENHYPEN need so much support right now. No duh, it's not easy for the other 6 members either right now. They were obviously all emotional while trying to do video calls after everything happened. Speaking of video calls, Heeseung has finally made an appearance since his departure announcement in a fan video call. I'm nowhere near religious anymore. But thank God and every other higher being y'all believe in that he seems to be doing well, and he definitely looks great. I noticed that he does look slightly different. But regardless, he looks so good. I missed him so much. And I'm very happy that those more mature and level-headed Engenes said things to him in full support of his decision. Which he seemed to really appreciate. This is what we should be doing right now. Not demanding him or the company or the fucking Korean National Assembly, or signing some fuck-ass nothing petition to get him back into the group. I must say it, Every Engene using the stupid hashtag bring Heeseung back, or signed that stupid petition that won't do anything is a selfish bitch that wants to control Heeseung. And they don't see or support him as his own person. Fuck you, he ain't coming back, and I hope he doesn't, just to make all of you bitches look hella stupid. See you all in the next video, bye bye.